That's why people need to stop asking women when you gonna have kids, or why you don't have kids, or when y'all gonna do this, when y'all gonna do that, because you just never know what women are going through. But welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name's Chantler. What's up? Hey girl, how you doing? If this is the first time seeing my face, make sure you guys are subscribing down below. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey girl, I missed you. All right, so today's video is going to be quite a different video. Today we're gonna do a little girl chat, and I'm basically going to be like spilling tea about myself, letting you guys in on some things that literally no one knows about. I'm actually very nervous filming this video, so you might see a lot of fidgeting, a lot of moving, because I'm very uncomfortable. Well, not really uncomfortable filming this, but I'm just super nervous because this is the first time that I'm actually talking about this. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about and you did not read the title, then today's video is going to be all about PCOS, diagnosing, symptoms, infertility, miscarriages, all that type of stuff, all the things that I have been dealing with for the past couple years and have been quite silent about. Now, before we get into this video, I do want to make a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on this. The things that I'm telling you guys are 100% of my experience and the things that I have learned doing my own research and talking with my doctors. You can take my advice and my experience with a grain of salt if you want to, or you can take it and you can, you know, put it to your own experience. But I'm just letting you guys know mine, because I find that not a lot of people talk about having PCOS, not a lot of people talk about miscarriages, infertility and stuff like that, and I am just making this video so that way maybe someone may stumble across it and it can help someone out, or maybe you can relate to it but you just didn't know anyone that had it, so you didn't know anyone you can talk to, or maybe you're experiencing these symptoms and your doctor isn't really giving you much advice or information, and yeah, maybe you can take my diagnosis and take it back to your doctor and see if they can test you for the same thing, because 9 times out of 10 you may have the same thing. So yeah guys, so in this video I'm basically going to be telling you guys what PCOS is, the symptoms that you can possibly have, my symptoms, how I got diagnosed, and what I'm doing to basically not cure it but live with it basically. All right, so if you're interested in this video, make sure you guys keep on watching. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys give me a big thumbs up, because this is a very vulnerable subject for me and I would really appreciate it if you guys would like this video. So yeah guys, keep watching. So to start off with, I want to tell you guys what PCOS is. I'm going to give you guys like a short definition. If you want more information, again, you can do your own research, but I'm just going to let you guys know what I know, okay? So PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome, meaning you produce a lot of cysts around your ovaries. Sometimes you can have 2, sometimes you can have like a chain, which they call a pearl string, because there's a lot of cysts in there, or you can just have multiple ones. Your ovaries more than likely are enlarged more than a normal ovary, and you produce more of the male hormone than you do the female hormone, which causes a lot of things to happen in your body, okay? PCOS, if left like untreated or whatever, it can cause type 2 diabetes, it can cause ovarian cancer, it can cause high blood pressure, and there are a few more things, but you know, I'm not too hype, or I'm not too like hype on the information yet, because I'm still learning, but I just wanted to put this out here, you know, just in case there are some people who know nothing at all. But yeah, ovarian, like PCOS can cause a lot of things if left untreated. Right. Okay, So that's just like a short synopsis of what PCOS is. So yeah, moving on to symptoms. Symptoms of PCOS: you can have irregular periods, you can have lots of hair growth in places that most women do not experience hair growth. You can have, let me see, I have my computer here because I also like looked up some of the stuff as well, because I don't want to tell you guys, you know, false information. You can have, like I said, irregular periods or no periods at all. You can have excessive hair growth, weight gain, thinning of your hair, acne, oily skin. Sometimes in severe cases it can also cause infertilities. If not all the way infertility, you can also experience miscarriages with PCOS. All right, and so yeah, that's basically the like general symptoms of PCOS. There are more, but those are like the common ones that most people have. Like when you have those, you can kind of like assume that you have PCOS. There really is no like test or anything like that, or like something that your doctor can do to prove that you have PCOS. They basically just go by those symptoms that I listed, or you can get a blood test drawn, and in that blood test they'll see whether or not your androgen levels are higher than your progesterone. I think that's what it is. The female hormone is progesterone, and so if that's lower than the androgen, then 9 times out of 10 they'll diagnose you with PCOS. PCOS has 4 different types. So the four different types are insulin resistant, inflammatory, hidden cause, and pill induced. I don't know 100% like the different kinds of like in depth what each one is. Again, you can do your own research, or you guys can leave me comments down below and let me know, you know, your take on it or the information that you have, so that way if someone else is watching this video, you guys can help them out as well. I'm trying not to make this video pretty long, so that's why I'm like speeding through this or whatever, because like I said, it's a very serious topic and it's very informative, and there's really not much to like drag on. It's like straight to the point, cut it, like it's no going around it. It is what it is, right? Okay, so let me tell y'all how I found out I had PCOS. So I am currently 27 years old. I found out I had PCOS when like a year ago, like literally last year, 2020, I found out that I had PCOS, and I'm only 27 years old. So yeah, when I first got my cycle, I was in the 4th grade, and ever since I received my cycle, or ever since I started getting my cycle, it was always irregular. Like I would get it every other month, or sometimes I'll get it like 6 months out of the year. Like I'll do it and then I'll skip 2 months or something like that, but they were always irregular from like the beginning of time. And then I will always have cramps. Y'all know like those cramps where they hurt so bad that where you can't even stand up straight, or it's like pain in your lower abdomen. I used to get those type of cramps or whatever, and when I would go to the doctor, they would just be like, oh, irregular periods are normal, like it's nothing to worry about. We can put you on birth control to regulate it, but other than that, like you're fine. And so my mom didn't really want me to be on birth control, because you know, like I wouldn't say back in the day, but you know, like older people, they just feel like if you're on birth control then you're having sex. So mom just didn't want me to get on birth control, because she just assumed that like I was just gonna stay a virgin forever. But I mean, at the time I was, because I was like hella young, but still, anyways. But yeah, so when I turned 18 years old, I decided to go see a gynecologist on my own and get on birth control. Mind you, I didn't really need to get on birth control because I wasn't having sex. I just got on it because like all my other friends were on it, and I was like, if they own it, then that must mean that I need to be on it as well, which I didn't really need to. But yeah, so when I was on birth control, when I first got on birth control, I was on the shot, and you have to get the shot every 3 months. But I think I got the shot like twice. So I got it, and it was supposed to do it for 6 months. And when you're on the shot, you're necessarily not supposed to have a cycle. But I ended up having a cycle for like a whole year. Like literally a whole year, I was bleeding from my vagina. I was bleeding. Like it wasn't always like heavy bleeds, but I was spotting some days it was super heavy, some days like, you know, but either way it go, like I was still having shedding of the uterine walls coming out of my vagina. Okay, so yeah, that's that. So that's when I was 18 and I first got on it, and then after like my cycle didn't stop for the first 2 shots, I never went back and I started going to college. When I got to college, they have like a clinic on campus, so I started going to the clinic, and that's when I started to get the pill birth control. With the pill birth control, I was getting my cycles regularly, and I was experiencing little to no pain when they were coming. Yeah, and then I think that was like in 2012. Fast forward to 2015, I realized that like the way that the pills were making me feel, I just didn't like it. So I stopped taking birth control altogether in 2016. I stopped taking birth control altogether just because I didn't like the way that it made me feel as far as my hormones, and I was always moody, like super sad, super angry, super happy, like it was just always something. So I just decided to get off of birth control altogether and just let my body naturally do what it needs to do. Okay, so as you can see, like obviously there's no worries or whatever. You wouldn't think to go get, I wouldn't have thought to go get checked for PCOS, right? But in 2017, around like October or November, I experienced my first miscarriage. Yes, in 2017, I think it was like, it had to be like October, November-ish, like October going into November, I had my first miscarriage. I found out that I was pregnant at 6 weeks, and at 7 weeks, literally a week after I took the pregnancy test, I had a miscarriage. Whenever I had that miscarriage, I won't go into full details. If you guys want a story time on that, or like want to know like what happened or whatever, leave me a comment down below, and then I'll make a video on that. But I'm not gonna go into much details about that today because that's not what this video is for. But yeah, so I had my miscarriage, and we ended up, like the next day, we ended up going to the emergency room or whatever, because I really didn't know what was going on. And that's when they confirmed that it was a miscarriage. They didn't give me no medicine, they didn't do nothing, they literally just sent me home and called it a day. So after the first one, me and Greg were kind of like, you know, we really could do like this parenting thing, because we were like, at first we were kind of like, oh my god, like I'm pregnant, like what are we gonna do? Because I was still in college, so I was just like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? But once we came to terms with it, we were kind of happy about it, so we decided to try again. Well, in February of 2018, I found out I was pregnant again, and we went to our first ultrasound at 8 weeks, heard the heartbeat, everything was good, you know, super happy. We were doing like reveals to our parents, filming everything, documenting everything, or whatever. And then we went to our 12-week appointment, and at the 12-week appointment, the doctor told us that, well, first of all, when we went to the 12-week appointment, the first thing they asked me was, do I have histories of cysts on my ovaries? And I'm just like, no, like nobody ever told me that. And they were like, yeah, you have about 2. You have one on your left that is 3 centimeters and one on your right that's 7 centimeters. And it doesn't sound big, but for cysts to be that big, they are pretty big. So, but she was saying that she wasn't really worried about it because usually cysts don't harm, and if they rupture, like that's whenever you should be nervous or whatever. But for now, because they aren't doing anything, you shouldn't be nervous about it. So after that, she then told us that at 9 weeks the baby had stopped growing. So long story short, had another miscarriage or whatever. So then at that time, I was getting like super depressed. I was like, anybody who like announced that they were pregnant, I instantly hated them. I had friends who were pregnant and I could not stand to be around them. Okay, I'm trying not to cry. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, I had friends who were pregnant, and I could not stand to be, oh my god, I don't want to cry. And I'm trying not to cry. Okay, but yeah, I could not stand to be around them. I didn't want to talk to them about no baby stuff. I didn't want to go to baby showers. I didn't want to do nothing, like anything baby related, pregnant related. I didn't want to have no parts in it because I literally hated anybody who could carry a child because I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I fell into like a really deep depression. I stopped talking to people. I literally was like relying on, like, as far as like friendship and companion, I was literally relying on like me and Greg or whatever. And I didn't want to be bothered with no one else. And when I would go around people, I would like fake smiles and fake happy or whatever. But other than that, like, y'all, I was like deep down like depressed and sad or whatever. And then, you know, like when those things happen, like the doctors be like, yeah, 1 in every 10 women have miscarriages. It's super normal. Yeah, no, if they tell you that, get another doctor, because there may really be something wrong with you and they're not doing anything to, you know, get it diagnosed. So yeah, that was like in 2018. And so now, like literally after that, up until that time, my cycles were pretty normal. Like they were every month I was having them. But then in 2019, February 2019, I had, I don't know, was it 2020? It had to be 20. Okay, so February of 2020, because 2019, I wasn't trying to get pregnant at all because I didn't want to go through that like heartbreak or whatever. I was still trying to get over the depression or whatever. So in 2020, I missed my first cycle ever, like since the miscarriages, and I assumed that I was pregnant, but the test kept coming back negative, and I missed my cycle in February, and then I had 2 in March, and that kind of worried me. So I called my gynecologist up and I was like, hey, you know, this ain't right, like this not normal, so can you tell me, like, you know, what's up or whatever. And I was like, my test keep coming back negative, but I didn't have 1 last month and I had 2 this month, so I'm trying to figure out like what's going on. And she was like, you know, come in, take some blood work. Took some blood work, everything came back normal. I think I missed my cycle again in May, and I had 1 in June. I didn't have 1 in July, and basically it was going like every other month. And I was just like, you know, something ain't right. Something is just not right. Like, I'm not having my cycles. When I do have my cycles, they're super heavy, and I'm not pregnant. So what is it? So I ended up going to get, like, you know, yearly checkup or whatever. I'm going there and I'm having my yearly checkup with my doctor, and she's doing like my breast exam, and she's noticing that I have like excessive hair growth on my chest. And she's like, you know, has anyone ever told you that you may have PCOS? I tested you for PCOS. And I'm just like, no. But, you know, in my mind, I've heard of people having PCOS, but never really like talked to them in depth. But when you hear that, you automatically assume like, oh, I can't have kids. So with her saying that, I'm automatically like, yo, like, she better not tell me that, because I want to have kids one day. So she's like, yeah, so we're gonna order you a test. We're gonna order you some blood work, and you can get that done, and then we can, you know, figure out whether or not you are like PCOS positive or not. If you are, then, you know, we can get you started on birth control, and then whenever you're ready to have kids, like, we can do this, that, and the third, so that way we can help you, you know, make sure that you can carry kids, because you obviously can get pregnant. It's just you're having trouble holding on to them, basically. So I would have to take extra precautions in order to make sure that I'm able to carry a kid full term. So, you know, when she said birth control, I was already like, because like I said earlier, like, I'm not really a fan of birth control as far as like what it did to my body. So I wasn't really like gun-ho to like get on birth control. So once she told me that, she ordered me a blood work, and until that time, I started doing my own research, because it took like a couple months before I could actually get into do the blood work. But I was doing my own research, and I was seeing that, you know, you can kind of like not cure PCOS, but you can do things to kind of like reduce the symptoms a little naturally. So I started reading up on that, and I'll tell you guys like what those things are later on in the video, because I'm actually almost done with like how I found out. But yeah, so I started reading up on that, and then my appointment finally came she took some blood work, and the blood work came back that my androgen levels were super high, higher than what a normal female should produce. And so at that point she diagnosed me with PCOS. So, you know, the first question that came to my mind was, so that means I can't have kids? And she's like, no, it just means that, you know, it's a lot harder for you. So yeah, that's basically how I found out. I found out last year that I had PCOS. I feel like a lot of doctors tell women that like miscarriages are normal and stuff like that, but if you have a gut feeling that something is wrong, go to another doctor and get another opinion. Like, it's okay to switch doctors, it's okay to get second, third, fourth opinions. Just do what you have to do to make sure that you're good, because doctors don't always know best. Like, that's just point blank, period. So yeah, the symptoms that I personally experienced were obviously irregular periods. I was having irregular periods since the time that I got it, but I wasn't really focused on it up until now. What other symptoms was I having? I was having excessive hair growth. Now, the thing with excessive hair growth, when she told me that, I was like, ma'am, I've been hairy all my life. Because like, hairy women just run in my family. So when she said that, I just kind of like, ma'am, like, if you think I'm hairy, you should see these other women in my family. But yeah, once she pointed it out, I started realizing that I've actually had more hair growth on my body than I've done before. So like, okay, so we're about to get a little TMI, y'all. So come on a little closer. Like, we friends, so come on a little closer so I could tell y'all my TMI. So I was having hair growth on my chin. Like, it wasn't a beard, but I would have like buzz on my chin that I would have to pluck. And it's like, if I don't pluck it, like, it can become very prominent to where people can see it, or like I can't cover it up with makeup. Now, again, chin hair runs in my family. My great grandma used to have chin hair. My aunt has chin hair. Like, a lot of women in my family have chin hair. So when I started to get it, I was just like, oh, that's just like something they passed down to me. But it was starting to become a lot, okay? So that's that. I also have like little curly, let me see if I could show y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it. Focus. But like, you see, like, I have like little hairs right here. Like, I have like random hair, like just here. I have hair in between my boobs, and then I have hair around my boobs that was never really there up until recently, and just be there, okay? I also have like excessive hair like on my buttocks. Like, my butt is super hairy, and I don't remember my butt ever being this hairy, but yeah, it's hairy. And my legs and my arms and my stomach, they have always been hairy, but like now I can shave, and in like 2-3 days the hair will be like fully grown back. So yeah, I experienced excessive hair growth, like excessive hair growth. I also experienced weight gain, but I don't know if my weight gain was due to PCOS or if it was due to me going through the depression after, well, I don't know if it was because of the PCOS or if it was because I got pregnant twice and then I went into depression, because that can also cause weight gain. And then I had oily skin. Like, my skin is super oily, as you guys can tell. Granted, I've had this makeup on maybe about all day. I did my makeup at like 10 o'clock and it's like 7 o'clock right now. So I've had it on about all day, but I've always had like extremely oily skin. Like, no matter what I did or what I put on my face or what products I use, my skin is always oily. Always oily. And then the last symptom that I experienced was difficulty getting pregnant or miscarriages. Now, a lot of people who have PCOS experience acne. Like Kiki Palmer, she dropped her like story on Instagram. I didn't have acne. Literally the only acne or pimples that I get is like right around the time of my monthly cycles. Other than that, my face is normally clear. I didn't experience any hair loss. I actually got more hair everywhere. So yeah, that's just the symptoms that I experienced. Most of them I have been dealing with all my life, so it's okay. But the only one that like kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks was the miscarriages and difficulty to get pregnant, just because of the simple fact that, like, you know, that's something that I do want to do. You know, I want to have kids, and for someone to tell you that you have a condition where it may be hard to have kids, or you can't have kids at all, like, that's very heartbreaking, you know. So yeah, that's why people need to stop asking women when you gonna have kids, or why you don't have kids, or when y'all gonna do this, when y'all gonna do that, because you just never know what women are going through behind their smile. Like, this woman you may have just like asked this woman, and then people are so stupid, but like, you may have asked this woman like, oh, when you and your husband gonna get married, because they've been married for 2-3 years and still haven't had a kid, but you just don't know that woman may not be able to have kids, and you just ask her something insensitive, and now when she get away, she might break down and cry because you brought up something that's really like painful to her, you know what I mean? So y'all just be mindful of when y'all ask people when they're gonna get pregnant, or if you ask someone if they're pregnant and you don't know 100% sure if they are. Because after my miscarriage, I still had like a little belly, and I had posted a picture. I remember this. I posted a picture on Instagram, and somebody was like not even somebody, book of people was DMing me like, are you pregnant, are you pregnant, are you pregnant? And I'm like, little do you know, bitch, I just lost a baby. So yeah, y'all just be mindful of like when y'all ask women specific things due to like pregnancy, because you just don't know what they're going through. But yeah, what else did I want to talk about in this video? Oh, so like I said, my doctor wanted me to get on birth control pills to regulate my periods, and then whenever I decided to have kids, she wanted me to get on what's called metformin. Metformin, it helps your body produce, like, it helps your body ovulate, because when you have PCOS, you don't ovulate every month. So metformin will allow you to produce eggs and ovulate every month in order for you to get pregnant. So she wanted me to do that, but I'm just not a big fan of like medicine. So that's like literally my last resort. So I have been doing some research on my own, and some things that they said that can help reduce the symptoms of it is weight loss, so exercising and changing your diet. You know, they tell you to to stop eating gluten, and to stop drinking or eating anything that has dairy in it, because that can also reduce the symptoms as well. I also found these 2 like vitamins that I started to take. One is the Maca Root. For those of you who do not know what Maca Root is, Maca Root is a herb that can regulate your hormones, which not regulate, but it can balance your hormones out, which in turn kind of like reduces PCOS, because PCOS is when your hormones are kind of like imbalanced. So Maca Root will balance it out. And Maca Root also improves your fertility and your libido, and it also kind of like, some people like every now and then will use it for weight gain, but it helps you gain weight in areas that help you with childbirth. So like your boobs and your hips, you don't usually gain weight in your mid region, like your stomach area. Is more so in your boobs and your hips, because you know, you kind of need your boobs if you're breastfeeding, and then your hips, you know, to have the kid to push it out. So metformin does help you gain weight in those areas. Not metformin, Maca Root helps you gain weight in those areas. And yeah, and then I also started taking turmeric. Turmeric is a superfood. It just helps with like inflammation, and it helps with your immune system. And then when you mix Maca Root and turmeric together, it becomes like this superfood for your body, well, the super vitamin for your body. So I started taking those 2. I have been inconsistent with them. I'm actually about to start back taking it now. I wanted to see if I was going to be able to get my cycle on its own in January, which I did. But after that, I am going to start taking it literally every day, twice a day. Maca Root, you have to take at least 2 capsules a day, and the turmeric, you have to take 3 capsules for a complete serving. They both come in powder and pill form. I just prefer the pill, because anything in powder form just tastes super nasty to me. Like, yeah, and I think that's about it for like all the natural remedies. Now, so I've been working out for a month now, and I have noticed that my cycle, it came on its own like it was supposed to. So I'm gonna keep documenting that and keeping up with things like that, just so I can share it with you guys who have questions about it. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for this video. I hope this video helps somebody out, and I hope that, like, if you don't already have PCOS, or if you think you may have it, I hope this video helps you out as far as like knowing where to go next, or like what next steps you need to take. Again, I'm still in the learning and beginning phases of all of this, and this is just something that I want to bring to my channel, because you just never know who out there is going through the same thing as you. So yeah, if you guys are also PCOS positive or whatever, leave me some comments down below. Let me know what information you have that I left out, because like I said, you just never know who's gonna pop on this video and who can help them. So yeah guys, that's really it. That's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it did help somebody out there, and I hope that I encourage someone out there to speak their truth on the things that they're experiencing, and not keeping it bottled up. If you did, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And like always, I love you guys, and I'll see you all in my next video.